Jobe Watson is the man of the highest integrity, highest character, a great person for our footy club, and yeah, never disappointed in Jobe. We're looking forward to tomorrow, looking forward to another chance to go to Perth and prove ourselves against a quality opposition.
Here we go, a pretty even ball up in the middle. Nice little knock to the controversial man himself. Watson to Hurley. The knock down to Watson. Could have given it to Davey, but the skipper stuck one through.
Look at the physical exhaustion from Jobe Watson. He is just absolutely in distress. That's how hard he's worked.
5 goals to 1 this quarter for the Bombers in a huge comeback against the West Coast Eagles. Big win for the Bombers.
We always knew that he was going to come out fighting tonight, and yes, it's been a tough week for him, but he's a genuine leader. He has a genuine care for this football club and his teammates, and he really wanted to play well, and he did that, and I feel like the whole team supported him as well.
He does it every week. It doesn't really faze him. You know, when he spoke in the media, he wasn't too fazed, and all week he's been fine. I reckon, you know, he might have been a little bit nervous coming into tonight, but that's why he's the captain of our club. He knows what's required, and it's water off a duck's back for him.
Amazing win. Full credit to the boys. I'm so proud of them tonight. Another fight back like that was just outstanding for the club. He's inspirational, really. You know, massive week for the club and for him personally. So to perform like that tonight was outstanding.
The belief in this group at the moment is second to none, and if we can keep that and play the footy that we want to play for a whole game rather than a half, it will hold us in good stead.
Obviously, I was pretty nervous about going out and playing, and emotionally for me it was probably as challenging as I've experienced before going into a game, and I really had no idea how I would go. I hoped that I could put it out of my mind and play. It's pretty difficult to focus on the game, to be honest, but I think once I was out there, you sort of just got into, I guess, the groove of playing a game, but probably preparation-wise, it was a challenge.
Marked right on the line, comes in, kicks the goal, and he looks at the crowd. Jobe Watson then in disbelief, I reckon.
I noticed it, but it didn't bother me. Nah, people can react whatever way they want. That's their choice, and it wasn't something that was impactful. People are faced with challenges all the time, and I suppose it's how you react and how you come out of them that is what's most important. And I've just been fortunate that I'm surrounded by a lot of people who I know care about me and who are of high character. There's some mixed emotions over the last sort of 72 hours, and I think that just to see my teammates lift and to fight, and it was sort of the never say die attitude that you know, we've sort of had so far this year, and I thought that the way that they played and the way the team held together and the club under, you know, a lot of stress, that's why it's such a great place to be part of.
Get the win for the skipper. Obviously it was pretty important tonight with such a big week and a lot of pressure on the club, and to get the win, it was amazing. We thought we were in the game the whole time. We knew we just had to get back to playing our style of footy, and we did that, and yeah, come home with the chocolates. Jakey got that point, and then Hep kicked that goal to put us 7 points clear, so we knew we had the win then. It was a great feeling, mate. It's one of the best wins I've been involved with, if not the best one for sure, yeah. Going to jump in the pool. It's pretty cold, do a bit of recovery, and yeah, shut the body down, and then go up to the room and rest up, get a good night's sleep. My run with injuries probably started in 2010. Probably don't want to sit here and list them all because we'd probably be here all day, but I I'll just say a couple. I've had, a broken arm, broke my fib, obviously the pancreas, which I did halfway through 2010, and then that kept me out for the rest of that year. That was probably my worst one, which I was in intensive care, and that one shook me up a bit. Had a bit of trouble with my ankle and foot in the past couple of years. That's the main one that's kept me out. I've had 3 operations on that, and I've worked really closely with the fitness staff and the physios over the past couple of years to get that right, and it's finally paying off, and I'm getting back to a level now where I can be as athletic as I used to be.
Tayte was pretty unlucky because as a kid he had a defect in the bone above the navicular, the talus, so he needed surgery early to correct that, and then that was complicated. About a year or so later he got a navicular stress fracture and had 2 or 3 operations on that to get his navicular right. Then when he tried to come back, he got stress fractures because of osteoporosis, so that held him back again. And then he finally made it, and when he finally made it, he tore his pancreas and was in hospital intensive care for 10 days or so. Then while he'd had that, we decided to clean up his foot. So the complications of a stress fracture, osteoporosis, then rupturing his pancreas, he really wasn't on his foot probably for a year and a half off and on, and that held him right back, because in the first year I think he played nearly every game.
Now Bateman's got it. Rioli was sold into trouble earlier.
Pears is in a bit of trouble here.
I was going back with the flight of the ball and got kneed in the stomach, and I was in a fair bit of pain and shook up a little bit, and I didn't think too much of it. I was in pain, but I played the game out, and I was in a fair bit of pain after the game, but decided to go home. Didn't get any sleep. I was tossing and turning, in a lot of pain throughout the night. Decided not to call Bruce Reid. Looking back, I probably should have. Didn't want to wake the old fella up. Came in for recovery the next morning. I was pretty pale, and went straight in and seen him, and it didn't look too good, so he put me in the car and drove me straight into the hospital. I think within about an hour I was on the operating table, and after that I was in intensive care for about a week or so, and in hospital for a couple of weeks.
It was pretty innocuous. He just got a very hard knock to the stomach. That sort of gave him a fair bit of pain, but he played on. If you rupture your pancreas, and his leaked, but mainly into the capsule, then the digestive fluids get into your tummy and you actually digest yourself. If the pancreas juices, they're meant to be inside your stomach and inside your small bowel. If they get into the outside of your stomach, that can cause enormous troubles. Fortunately, he only had a minor leak, but no, he was a very sick boy.
Yeah, Doc Reid, he's a great man. He's someone who I'm really close with over here in Melbourne, and he's a great doctor, but he's an even better person. He's a really good fella, and I've obviously grown close to Doc just because of all the injuries I've had, and he's looked after me pretty well with a few serious injuries as well. But he's a great man, and I put all my trust in him.
Pears, he's been pretty resilient. It's a good word around our club. He's been unbelievable, really. He's one I really want to succeed if he possibly can.
My year this year, obviously I've been injured in the past, so the off-season just gone. It was a good chance for me to get a fair bit of work in because I wasn't injured, first time in a while, so no operations or anything. So I got a fair bit of work in over the break and led into pre-season. Didn't really miss a session, did the whole pre-season leading up to the games, and I haven't missed a game so far this year. And I think for me it was just more about getting back and playing consistent football, whether that be VFL, AFL. I'm just happy to be back out there playing consistent football, and I think the hard work's paid off. Yeah, I think it's just about working closely with my line coach, Sean Wellman. We've done a fair bit of work, watching my game, seeing what I can improve on, keep working on my fitness, and just all areas of my game.
It's been really good to see him just grind away, just slowly improve and be able to work on areas of his game, and you're starting to see the benefit of that now. I just think it's now about real consistency and be able to play well against the best opposition. That's where you really measure yourself on, playing against the better players. So that's something that he'll get exposed to more as the years go on. But I think if he can really shut out really good players and be a really good offensive player himself, I think that's where you'll see Tayte at his best. Definitely been frustrating for Pearsy, and I guess Cole Hardingham's the other one. I mean, we've been in a really fortunate situation where we haven't had a lot of injuries, and what that does is it creates pressure outside the team, and the guys running around in the AFL certainly know that Tayte and Hardy have been in really good form, and they need to perform at a consistent level as well, so it's really healthy. But you know, we've had to be able to manage that as well and make sure that whether they're playing VFL or AFL, they're always working on their game. So when they do come and get the opportunity, that they're better players.
So it's healthy for the side, I suppose, when you've got blokes pushing for a spot, and there's some pretty good players playing in the VFL at the moment, which is probably a bit unlucky, but it says a lot about the team and where we're going. So when you get in there, it means a lot, and for me, I love being out there and playing with, you know, my best mates at the club, which are in the senior side.
Tayte and I, we were drafted at the end of '07. Tayte came from Western Australia and I moved over from Tassie, and we struck up a bit of a relationship in our first year, and it's blossomed ever since, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Tommy's been good to me over the last couple of years. You know, with all my injuries and stuff, he stuck by me, and it's always good to have close mates. I've got a lot of close mates. It's not just Tommy at the club, but yeah, it's good to just have those guys just to get away from the footy club and go and hang out and take your mind off, you know, training and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Pears has had a tough run through injury. You don't wish that upon anyone, and Tayte's the kind of guy, he's a very resilient character, and he's had to fight his way through a lot of injuries. I guess it's just being there for him to talk to, go and have a beer with if he needs to have a beer with someone. Me and him are pretty good at that, so we do that occasionally, but yeah, just being there for him as a mate, I guess, is the main thing.
Hurls is another bloke who I'm close with at the club. You know, I look up to Hurls. He's the leader of the group, and he's probably been similar to me in the way he's had a couple of injuries. It's probably more about the way he attacks the football. He's really hard at it, and a couple of times he gets injured because of that. So I admire that about his football, though, and you wouldn't change that. But yeah, he's really good to me. Also, he's always very caring. Hurls is a really caring guy, and he looks after you when you get injured and stuff.
Obviously, the pancreas issue put him back. He lost about 10 kilos, so that in itself, to put that weight back on, is pretty tough. Obviously, he's had a lot of issues with his feet, and I think that made it even harder because he wasn't able to run, and he spent a lot of time in the pool, a lot of time on the bike, a lot of time, I suppose, away from the boys, which makes it even harder. He's worked so hard, and he's got himself in such good shape, and to see him back playing now is it's pretty amazing. He's one of those players that you love running out alongside, and I know how much Tayte means to all the boys, and yeah, the boys are wrapped for him to be playing senior footy again.
You know, he's got some real influence amongst his teammates because they do gravitate towards him as well. I'm not sure if he understands how much influence he does have on his teammates, but I think he's certainly starting to recognise that, and that's going to make him a better player, knowing that he can't just influence himself, but he can make people around him better as well.
My contract is out at the end of this year, so for me this year has been pretty important, and that's why I was lucky that I had no injuries really in the off season. I could get a fair bit of work in, and I've worked really hard to try and get back to a level where, you know, I can play AFL football, and I think I've done that. Hopefully the clubs realise the hard work that I've put in, and if I can keep playing consistent football, like I said, whether that be AFL or VFL level, hopefully the club realises that and gives me another contract.
Yeah, what makes a great team, I think, is great relationships, great player and coach relationships, and also with your teammates. We've got care, competitive and self-driven. They're all values that help the team be successful, but they also bring the group together.
That continued drive throughout the club and to be competitive in the field we operate in, and we're always striving to be the best.
We focus a lot on working together to get through obstacles and tough times, and I think that's what makes teams great, the ones that come together and work as a unit.
In business, it's a very competitive environment, just like it is with football, so you always try and be the best, and I think the True Value are the best in their field, and that's definitely what we're striving to be.
Today, lucky enough to be down at the Werribee Zoo with my girlfriend and I. We're lucky enough to get the chance to come down here and meet a few animals. At home I've got 2 dogs and 2 cats. So the dogs one's a boxer, one's a Shar-Pei. I was actually lucky enough to adopt the Shar-Pei from Shar-Pei Rescue Victoria just recently. So, and then yeah, just 2 little cats that I had back at home, and I was lucky enough to bring them to my new place now. So yeah, love my animals and love spending time with them. I wouldn't mind getting into something like this, or something like working at a zoo or something like that, but I don't think I'm quite clever enough. Feeding the white rhinoceros, I think for me, might be the highlight. Looking forward to it. Okay, mate, how are you? Michael. Nice to meet you. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Sean. How are you going?
It's probably enormous.
I know.
Yeah, he's big. So this is Kapamba. He's 16 years old, and he's a southern white rhino, and he's about 172 centimetres tall.
170 centimetres. It's bigger than Froggy.
Yeah, you can feel his groin. He's a male. He'll love it. He's not fussy.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different experience being so close. You see them on TV and from afar, and you don't think they're that big, and then you get up a metre or a foot away from them, and they're gigantic. Just it's like nothing I've ever seen before. To be honest, I wasn't really sure what to expect with the giraffes. I thought they would be a bit quiet and not really give a whole lot, but at the end of the day, I suppose they were almost a highlight. They were amazing. There was about 5 or 6 of them came up to the back of the ute that we were on and ate the leaves and ate the pallets, and they were very sociable. And again, just the pure size of the animal was amazing, and it was a fantastic experience. Look at the size of them. I'm sitting on the back of a ute and they're 3 metres tall. Did make a friend. Big AJ was jogging along behind the ute for a while there, so it was a lot of fun.
So we actually have 4 lions here. We have 3 on the front exhibit, so they're in a pride setting.
Yep. Hey, stay there, stay there. Good girl. The lions are with sort of a bit of a feed, so a bit of food went up from the bottom of a jeep, and then on a few different rocks, and three lions, 2 males and a female, came out and had a bite to eat right in front of us, which was pretty special. The day has been sensational. I can't thank the Werribee Zoo enough. They've had me out in behind the scenes and seen some special things. So again, thanks to Werribee Zoo. It's been an amazing day and one I'll never forget.
Taking plenty of time. Goes towards the half-forward line.
Oh, yeah, right. Clemson looks like they've got a broken jaw, doesn't it?
Yeah. I remember the game over in Perth against West Coast when I sort of remember just going up for a mark, to be honest. I obviously had my mouth guard in, but looking back on the footage, I obviously had my mouth open when I was going for the ball, and I think it was Andrew McDougall at the time who just got, obviously the pointy end of his elbow got me flush in the top part of the mouth, and it knocked, I think, 2 teeth straight out, and I dare say there was 1 still in the mouth guard and there was 1 sort of hanging there. So at the time I thought obviously it was a fair knock, and I thought, you know, I might have cracked my gum or done some real damage, and losing 4 teeth is probably not ideal. But Rubbers actually was on the bench side where it happened, so he was lucky enough to run back out after the actual accident and sort of have a quick look round while play was going on, and he found my main tooth.
So a bit happening in there. I think the teeth going into the milk.
They found 2 teeth, we believe, so that's good news.
And I remember going back on, and then after the game going to the a dental surgery, and they sort of, you know, jammed them back in and put some braces on me, and even the teeth at the moment I've got now are still those ones. So I've got Rubber to thank, and obviously Reedy to thank.
Good on you guys, another episode of Dyson's Diary. Just finished a really good training session on the track this morning, and had our review on the West Coast game, which was a fantastic result for the club, and just with everything that's going on off the field, it was an amazing result, so really excited about that. All the boys are up and about this week, and really looking forward to the game against Port Adelaide, obviously playing against ex-Essendon player Angus Monfrey, so it'd be good to have a hit out against Gussie. And also on that one, we've got an open training session here at Windy Hill at 9:30 on Saturday. So hopefully we can get a few of yous down to training and come and have a look. Good on you guys. We'll see you next week.
Okay guys, it's Jobe Watson here and I'm in the Kia conversation with one of our loyal Bomber supporters. Nicole, thanks for joining me, and I'm here to interview you actually, which is a little bit different from normal, so I'm going to ask you the questions. What was the biggest game that you remember going to or being a part of?
The 2000 Premiership. I went to the grand final with my dad and we had a great day out there. It was just huge to get that big win.
Do you have any superstitions that you like to do before a game?
I actually have a drink of Milo out of my Bomber mug
Right.
before every game. It started in 2000 when we were winning every game.
If you like the look of this Kia Optima, you could save up to $2,500 when you buy one just for supporting your team. Go to the URL on the screen to learn about all of Kia's Essendon member offers.
Welcome Bomber fans to the 6th and final week of the Yakult Crosscode Challenge between the Bombers and the Melbourne Rebels. Last week we saw Michael Hibbert from the Bombers and Jed Robinson from the Rebels test their legs in the AFL Torp Challenge and the Rugby Place Kick Challenge. So let's take a look at the scoreboard. And with 2 challenges remaining, it's the Bombers on 6 and the Rebels on 4. Well, last challenge day of the series, we have Mark Bagley here from the Bombers and Laurie Weeks from the Melbourne Rebels. Goal kicking is easy. We're going to have 3 shots at goal. You both get 3. You'll have it from about, first one will say 30 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Oh,
second will be probably your favourite from the boundary. And the last one's going to be a little dribble along the ground. So we'll start off with the goal kicking. All right, Laurie, I thought we'll give Mark, just to give you a little tip, since you've never kicked footy in your life. Mark, what do you, how does he do it? How does he kick it? Just a drop punt.
The aim of the goal kicking is start your run up straight at the goals. You want to hit this part of your foot, get the ball spinning back, and it should go straight through the middle.
Oh, nice, nice. Easy.
Yeah, I've got it.
All right, well, let's see how we go. All right, first one up from 30, 45-degree angle. Take your time. Yep, and he did not listen to any. All right, Mark. Laurie set you a big challenge there, mate. All you got to do is just kick it straight. Oh. Wow. Well, that's a goal. That's a 6-pointer. All right, here we've got the snap kick here. Since you took Mark's advice so well last time, mate, you just go for it. You just kick how you want to kick. Oh, coming back. It's on the full, no score. Boys, 0 apiece. Come on, what are we doing? We're going to go into the dribble now. Well, Laurie, the game's still alive, mate. If Mark misses everything, you're still a chance. This is the dribble goal kick, okay? It's about finesse, control, and just get the ball nice and softly bending through the goal.
I should have it all under control then.
You nail this goal, my friend. It's a Bombers win for the Yakult Crosscode Challenge. Let's go, mate. Good work, mate. Good job, good job. Well, Weeks, you're coming here, mate. We still, you had a good try, buddy. It was a good job. Good job. Well, there we go, guys. It got finished with a nice little dribble goal there from the backman, Mark Bagley. It's beautiful finish off. The winners of the Yakult Crosscode Challenge, the Bombers. Yes. That's it for the Crosscode Challenge for this year. It's been great fun over the last 6 weeks. And thanks to all the guys from the Bombers and Melbourne Rebels for taking part. And thanks, of course, to our great sponsors at Yakult. Once again, it was the Bombers over the Rebels. We'll catch you next time.
Something most people wouldn't know about me is I'm missing part of my middle finger on my left hand.
Myers running in, feigns to give it off, kicks the goal!
Only superstition is I put my left boot and sock on before the right, before a game. Favourite thing about being an AFL footballer would have to be doing as a job what you always wanted to do as a kid. Don't forget to visit the Essendon website to take part in the fan segment for your chance to win an Antler prize pack.
This has been a Fox Footy production for Fox Sports.